welcome to a video requested by some of you guys, the deck list of my Black Rose Dragon deck. Now, when I put together this deck, I had a very important person in mind, and some of the cards are in a way related to that person. Now, also keep in mind that this deck is not meta oriented. So, without any further ado, let's start with the only copy of Rose Lovers, a card that needs to be in the graveyard so you can special summon a plant monster from your hand. And on top of that, the monster will be immune to traps that turn. Now, the next card in the deck with two copies, it's going to be Rudy Rose Witch, the first plant tuner of the deck. Now, this card you can tribute to add one Witch of the Black Rose from your deck to your hand, and also place one level 3 or lower plant monster from your deck on top of it, and maybe plant the seeds in your favor. Also, immediately after all this, you can special summon the Black Rose Witch. On top of that, this card lets you return one Black Rose Dragon or Rudy Rose Dragon that is banished or in the graveyard to the extra deck. Each effect is once per turn. The third card in the deck, with only one copy, is the Rose Fairy. Now, with a simple effect, add this card from your deck to your hand by a card effect and you can special summon it. Easy, right? The next card, coming actually at 3 copies, is going to be Red Rose Dragon, a tuner that if it is sent to a graveyard as a synchro material, lets you special summon a different Rose Dragon from the deck, but if you use it for Black Rose Dragon or a plant synchro, you can add a Frozen Rose or a Blooming of the Darkest Rose from your deck to your hand. This is one of the most useful monsters in the deck. Now, the next card, also at 3 copies, is going to be Rose Princess, a potential tuner. And why do I say potential? Well, if your opponent is the only one with a monster on the field, you can special summon this flower and it becomes a tuner. You can also discard it and add from your deck to your hand the field spell White Rose Cluster. Easy way to summon the field spell from the deck. The next card at 1 copy is going to be Rose Girl, another tuner that can special itself from your hand if a plant type monster is sent to the graveyard, except during the damage step. You can also pick this flower up from your graveyard and add to your hand if you control a plant type monster on the field. Easy way to recycle it. Now, coming in at 3 copies, it's Rux Rose Dragon. If you summon this card, you can add 1 card from your deck that mentions Black Rose Dragon except itself, so no Rux Rose. Also, if this card is in the graveyard and the Rose Dragon or Plant Synchro is destroyed by battle or effect, you can add this card to your hand, so you can start again. Now, the next card is the bigger sister of the previous Witch, and that one, it's Witch of the Black Rose, and only 1 copy of it. Now, this card can't be special summoned, but if it's normal summoned and you control no other cards, you can draw 1 card and show it to your opponent and hope it is a monster, because if it's not a monster, you have to discard it and also destroy it. The next card is flying in at 3 copies, Blue Rose Dragon, with a nice effect that if this card on the field is destroyed, you can special summon from the graveyard a Black Rose Dragon or plant monster. Another easy way to just keep special summoning and keep monsters on the field. Now, on the other end of the garden, the White Rose Dragon, also at 3 copies, lets you special summon a Rose Dragon except itself from your hand or graveyard. You can also special summon him from your hand if you control a dragon or plant tuner. I don't actually recommend that. I recommend the first effect. On top of that, if he is sent to the graveyard as synchro material, you can send 1 level 4 or higher plant monster from your deck to the grave. Some decks might find this useful. In this deck, it's not. It's only one plant monster above level 4. Above actually level 3. And the last monster from the main deck is gonna be the Fallen Angel of Roses, with a nice effect that you can special summon it from your hand by returning one plant monster from your field to the hand. Easy way to summon it, but unfortunately you need to banish her when she leaves the field. Yeah. But hey, 2400 attack, that's more than enough. Now for the spell cards, at 1 copy we have a classic, Hoppy's Feather Duster, with one of the best effects to this day. Trap decks still fear this card and are gonna fear them as long as this card remains available. The second spell is gonna be another classic at 1 copy of Monster Reborn. I don't think I need to tell you what this card does. The third spell this time, at 2 copies, is Change of Hearts. Bakura's favorite card from the anime, if you remember. Again, a big classic, a big staple back in the day. No need to actually tell you what to do. Easy. Now, next on the list is gonna be 1 Rose Bell of Revelation. This card lets you add from your deck to your hand a plant monster with 2400 attack or more. But you can also banish this card to special summon a plant type monster with 2400 attack from your hand, but you can use 1 effect per turn. So you cannot search and activate the second effect, you have to wait a turn. Next card at 2 copies is gonna be the Mark of the Rose, an equip spell card that in order to activate you need to banish 1 plant type monster from your grave. But once activated, you can equip it to an opponent's monster and take control of it only during your turn. I find this card as, let's say, Change of Heart with extra steps. The next spell is gonna be the field spell card, White Rose Cloister, at 3 copies. This garden lets you special summon 1 Rose Dragon or 1 plant monster from your hand if you do not control any monsters. This effect is only once per turn. But also during your draw phase, you can guess the type of card you draw, and if it's correct, all level 7 or higher synchro monsters gain 1000 attack that turn. Really good field spell for the deck. The next card on the list at 2 copies is Frozen Rose, a quick play spell, that lets you send 1 monster you control to the graveyard to activate its effect. Now, if the monster is a plant type, you draw 2 cards and discard 1 card at the end phase. But if the monster is not a plant type, you can add 1 level 4 or lower plant type monster to your hand from your deck. As you saw previously, the deck has a lot of level 3 and lower plant type monsters. Now, last spell card in this deck is gonna be the Basil Rose Shoot at 3 copies. Another quick play spell that lets you special summon a Rose Dragon monster from your hand or graveyard in defense. Now, if this card is set and it is destroyed, you can target 1 of your Black Rose Dragons or a monster that mentions it banished or in your graveyard and special summon it. For the trap cards of the deck, we only have Wall of Thorns at 3 copies. Wall of Thorns? Yeah, that card. Symbol card, when a plant monster is targeted for an attack, destroy all attack position monsters your opponent controls. Now for the extra deck, we have 1 Garden Rose Maiden. If she's special summoned, you can add 1 Black Garden from your deck or graveyard to your hand, but also you can banish this card from your graveyard to special summon from your graveyard a Rose Dragon or Dragon monster. Now this card is good in this deck, but also other dragon type decks. The next maiden is Garden Rose Floral. This Synchro Tuner lets you lets you destroy one field spell, then special summon it. Then special summon to its controller a rose token in attack position. Easy enough. If the opponent has something annoying, like Necro Valley for example, boom. The next card is gonna be the Queen of Thorns. The Queen of Thorns at 2 copies. A ruler that taxes both players 1,000 life points if they want to summon or special summon non-plant type monsters. But the Splendid Rose, also at 2 copies, lets you banish one plant type monster from your graveyard to whip an opponent's monster's attack to half until the end phase. You can also banish one plant type monster to reduce its attack to half so it can attack a second time that turn. Now, the main star of the deck is of course the Black Rose Dragon, at 2 copies this time, and I assume everybody knows its effect. But how about the Black Rose Moonlight Dragon, also at 2 copies? If this card is special summoned or level 5 or higher monster is summoned by your opponent, you can target one special summoned monster your opponent has and send it to the hand. This effect is once per turn though. The next card at 1 copy is the Circle of Fairies. With this card during your main phase, you can normal summon one insect or plant type monster in addition to your normal summon or set of that turn. And when a monster is destroyed by battle involving your insect or plant type monster, inflict half its attack to the opponent as damage and you gain the same amount as life points. So in a way, you can actually absorb the life points of your opponent. Now, one of the big boss monsters of the deck at 2 copies, Rudy Rose Dragon. When it is synchro summoned, you can banish all cards from both graveyards, but if it's synchro summoned using Black Rose Dragon or a plant synchro monster, you can destroy all, and I mean all other cards in the field. And on top of that, when your opponent activates a card or effect that would destroy a card, or multiple cards, you can tribute this card, negate the effect, then special summon Black Rose Dragon from the extra deck or graveyard. I love this card, I swear. But I know you all will love the next boss monster. At 1 copy, Baroon the Floor. With this girl you can destroy a card, you can also negate an effect or card, both once per turn. What more do you want? Now, the last card is a link card at 1 copy, Crossroads Dragon. With this dragon you can tribute it and a plant monster to synchro summon a rose or plant monster. Also, if a monster you control is destroyed by card effect, except during the damage step, you can banish this card from your graveyard and special summon 1 Rose Dragon from your graveyard. So yeah, this is the deck. Hope you guys like it, and if you have any ideas on making the deck better, please let me know down in the comments below. Hope to see you guys in the next video, and as always, have fun guys.